Well, good morning. So today we're going to jump in and talk about some functions. I'm going to split this video in half. There are 6 functions that you need to be able to recognize and know the parents of. And we'll talk about that in a second. And there's actually 6 more, so there's a total of 12. But the other 6 we're going to go into some super duper detail in. This first 6 you should have at least seen at some point in your life. Okay? So let's jump right in. So the first one we're going to talk about is a linear function.
Okay, linear function. Okay, that one is the easiest to figure.
Okay, so you should know function notation so far. So when I put f of x is equal to x, you should know that that f of x represents what? Y. And my x is going to fall down. But I'm going to do something with my x. So when you're doing linear, quadratic, and cubic, you need to be able to fall all the way down to numbers. And that sounds weird at first, but you'll see. So how many x's do I have? Well, I have one x, and how many numbers are after it? None. Okay, so I started and I went all the way down. Now when you get in the higher ones, it'll make more sense. So it's x to the first power within a number. So let's break this down even more to something you may have seen before. So let's bring my y down. Equals. Well, let's replace the numbers I now have with letters. Let's say I put an m here and a b there. Okay, you remember that from Math 1, hopefully. Y equals mx plus b. Where m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. Okay? Very good, very good. Okay, so I'm going to graph this and show you what it looks like. You should know that it looks like a line since it's linear. Okay, so let's make up some one. Let's do one up here. So y equals, or f of x equals 2x plus 3. Alright, so this really is y equals 2x plus 3. And I'm going to make my x and y chart table. Now, used to, you would graph this by doing, the slope is 2, and I start at 3. So I start at 3, go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Remember doing that? We're not doing that anymore. We're just going to plug and chug. And the numbers I choose, and the reason I choose them, David, because you asked me this yesterday, is I choose them because it spaces me all the way pretty far in the negative and pretty far in the positive. So we have a good range of numbers. So I'm going to do -4, -2, 0, 2, and 4. Some teachers will do -1, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. But I don't think that spaces it out far enough. So this is what I'm going to do. So now, what do I do? What do I need to be thinking when I plug in this -4? Well, that -4 is replacing this x. So it's really 2 times -4 plus 3. See where that came from? Put my -4 in where the x is at. So that's what I'm really thinking. So what do I get? What's 2 times -4? Well, that's -8 plus 3 is -5. Okay? Beautiful. Now let's plug in -2. So 2 times -2 plus 3. 2 times -2 is -4 plus 3 is -1. Alright? 0. What's 2 times 0? 0. What's 0 plus 3? 3. Okay? Plug in 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Can you guess the next one without doing any math? How many more am I jumping up? Plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Okay? Linears will always have that. Alright, so let's graph it. So, wow, this eraser is terrible. Just plain terrible. Alright, so x and y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, oh, I didn't even talk about this. Okay, so when I had this up here, I had f of x equals x. That is the most basic form of a linear function, right? I've taken away all the numbers, I've taken away everything except for the x. So this is my parent function. Parent function. It is the most basic form of a function. So f of x equals x is basic. Ha ha ha. Okay, most basic form of function. So that's parent function. So that would be, so if I ask you what's the parent of this, your answer would just be f of x equals x. Okay, so I'm graphing. -4, -5. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put it in here. -2, -1. 0, 3. Wow, my 3's way up there. No. 0, 3. 2, 7. And 4, 11. Let's put them way up there. I don't even think you can see that. So if I connect this, what do I get? I get a line, right? Now what's special about a line? Well, it goes on forever. The only reason I put the dots is because it was through the word. So this line goes on forever. Beautiful, that's linear.
Alright, so linear was f of x to the what power? Is f of x equals x to the what power? That is to the first power. Alright, we're going to step it up one and do a quadratic. For quadratic, I think a quad, so you think 4 is not. No, it's yourself. So quadratic is actually just up 1 power. So this is a quadratic.
Function. And it's x to the second power. So that's my parent. Now we're going to break that parent down. So we're going to break down, how many x squareds do I have? Well, first off, what's this f of x? It's a y. What's this? How many x squared do I have? I have 1x squared. How many x's to the first power do I have? 0 x's. And how many numbers do I have? 0. Does that make more sense now that I'm just stepping down to all the way down the numbers? Now replace all 3 of these numbers with a letter. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is not like a step. This is me showing you when you use formulas, when you do all that stuff, this is what you will use. So like the quadratic formula, you should know that. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, all those a, b's, and c's come from right here. Okay. So even though it's this, I'm breaking it down to where you'll actually do work with it. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So now guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you an example, and we're going to graph it. So y, I always want to do y. F of x equals, let's do 2x squared plus x minus 4. Okay? So let's do my x and y's. Negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, and 4. Once again, do I have to do these numbers? No, I'm picking them to space it out. So I'm going to do my math. So 2 times x is negative 4, squared, plus negative 4 minus 4. Alright? So negative 4 squared is positive 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Minus 8 is 24. My brain's working this morning. It is. Okay? Keep going. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. Minus 4 is 2. 0. 0, 0 minus 4. 2 is, 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10 minus 4 is 6. 4 squared is 16 times 2 is 32. Plus 4 is 36 minus 4 is 32. Okay, now I'm going to graph that. I'm sure you did all that math in your head just like I did. No, you didn't. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to say these are 5s each, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, because obviously my numbers are huge. So negative 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and 4, 24, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm going to write underneath that one. 24, negative 2, 2, so negative 2, 2, 0, negative 4, 2, 6, and 4, 32. It's like way up here. Okay, when I connect these, that is so ugly. But I should get a U, a very, very pretty U compared to this one. All right, so it should be a U. Now that U, there's rules about the U. If x squared is positive, then I get a U. If x squared is negative, and you should remember this, positive, negative, then you get a lowercase n looking thing. Okay? So the negative flips it upside down.
Good, that's quadratic. And the third one for this video is cubic. Turn it to everything. Cubic's really cool looking. And you may actually have seen a cubic function before, or at least remember it. So cubic, if I start with x, and x squared, then I'm going to do x to the what power? What do you think? Well, I told you it's cubic, so x cubed is x to the
third power. Okay, so let's break that down. So this is cubic, the cubic function. Remember that f of x is y. Okay, how many x cubes do I have? Well, I have 1 x cubed. Keep going down. How many x squareds? 0 x squared. How many x's? 0 x's. And how many numbers? 0. A whole lot of zeros right now. Now, what did I do with all these numbers? I gave them letters. So y equals, and you won't do any formulas with these, I just want you to see it. Ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay? So I'm going to replace all of these with numbers whenever I start doing equations and stuff. So let's do an equation. Let's do y equals, I'm just going to do x cubed. What's in front of that x cubed? A 1. Good. Plus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4. No idea what it's going to look like. Okay, so negative 4 cubed, we're working for 16 times 4 is 64. Negative 64, I'm going to write this down. Negative 64 plus negative 4 squared is 16 times 2 is 32. Minus 2 times negative 4, so plus 8. Okay, and plus 4. So what I get there. Negative 64 plus 32 is negative 32, which is negative 24, which is negative 20. So I get negative 20. Okay, negative 2. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. Plus negative 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. Ooh. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 and plus 4. Okay. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0, plus 4 is 8. 0. 0, 0, 0, 4. Wait a minute, I did something wrong. Negative 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8, so negative 8. Okay. Negative 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. Minus, well, we'll just keep on. It may have been an opposite one. No? I was just going to look. Okay, that's right. And 2. 2 cubed is 8 plus 8 minus 4 plus 4. 8 plus 8 is 16. Minus 4 plus 4 is still 16. Okay, and 4. 4 cubed is 64 plus 32 minus 8 plus 4. 64 and 32 is 76. 76 minus 8 is 72 plus 4. 76 minus 8 is not that. 76 minus is 72. Okay. So I'm going to graph that bad boy. Okay. And it's going to be real ugly. But hopefully you can see what the shape should look like. So once again, I'm doing 5s, and I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's graph that. So negative 4, I'm at negative 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20. At negative 2, I'm at 8. So right there. At 0, I'm at 4. At 2, I'm at 16. And at 4, I'm at 72. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So I'm like way up here. A little bit of that thing. In with a dot over it. Okay, so look, when I connect my dots, what do I get? That really, really cool guy. Now what you will see from these functions, so it's, the cubic will always look like an S. Alright. How many directions did x to the first power have? How many directions did it have? 1, right? It just went that way. Then how many directions did x squared have? Well, 2. It went down, it went up. Now how many directions does x cubed have? It has 1, 2, 3. Every time you add a power, you add a change of direction. So the fourth power goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of looks like a W. Alright, so those are your first 3. The next 3 in the next video. Good luck.